Hello, my dears. Today I've brought you a small topic that might be relatively important in depression, namely the topic of forced help. I've already made a video before on the topic of the helper syndrome. So, if you are one of those who always have a very, very deep need to help others, and not just help in a positive sense, but help so much that you sacrifice yourself and it no longer does you any good, that's one side of the coin. But the whole thing has another side. Mainly from the other side. When people help you because they think you need help. Helping. So interpersonal help is actually something wonderful. In general, it's something that is always wonderful. When one person needs help and another person helps them. But there are also these stories that happen subtly, unconsciously, and are not healthy. Imposed help in the sense of unsolicited help is something unpleasant. And the thing is, we might not even dare to admit to ourselves that we don't want this help. And because then we think of phrases like, well, she meant well, oh, yes, and it was also, and she just wanted to. And all the while, we have this knot in our stomach, this feeling of discomfort, but we suppress it. And that's something in depression where we need to learn to break out of this pattern. So, whenever you feel bad in any way, if you have a stomach ache or wherever it sits in your body, like, actually, I feel uncomfortable here. But then the voice comes from the back of your mind, from your intellect, and tells you, no, everything is fine. Now don't make such a fuss. You're being helped here. It's nice of them to help you. Like, some aunt who always brings something, sweets for your kids, or something that you don't really want, or something of that sort. Or a mother-in-law, who always somehow goes and says, I'll fulfill your wishes. Or something like that, and you feel, actually, I don't want that. This is my family, this is my household. And I don't want my mother-in-law constantly coming in here and doing the laundry for me. But the logical voice in the back of my mind says, yes, it's nice, because then I get a little help. I have enough to do with the kids. Or maybe I don't want to ruin things with her because I want to maintain harmony between us. And that's why I don't say anything. I've experienced this so many times with clients who experience exactly this, where the mother-in-law even gains access with a key to their apartment to do laundry or to help because they feel so good being needed and all. But you actually don't want it and don't dare to say anything against it. And that's a phenomenon that really makes you sick. If you suppress it for a long time, it's not good. It's pent-up anger that might become increasingly stronger. And where you eventually explode. And then the terrible thing you wanted to prevent happens, namely, that you mess things up with the mother-in-law because you eventually lash out at her and then feel really bad about it. So, underlying, simmering conflicts that aren't addressed. Not good. And today, I just want to point out to you whether this issue of forced help might also be relevant to you. I came across this topic not only because of clients who often experience it, but also because I've seen some very interesting or several very interesting videos on YouTube from people. It was about something entirely different. It was about the topic of racism. So, it's very prevalent in society at the moment that people are making a great effort not to be racist. And that's actually a good thing. Here we are again with this actually. The good intention behind it is good, but it can also escalate into forced help. These people who spoke in a video. I remember a dark-skinned German who said that it somehow makes him uncomfortable when everyone always wants to protect him from racism. Yes, so. And he says that there's such a fuss made about it, ensuring that he doesn't become a victim of racism. And he says, I don't want to be a victim. They make me a victim with that. I didn't used to. I didn't feel discriminated against at all. I speak German, I am integrated here, it doesn't matter at all how I look. And I don't want anyone to protect me from something that isn't a threat to me, because they make me a victim by doing so. And also, can I please decide for myself when my feelings are hurt? Others don't need to decide that for me. This video really made me think because that's exactly what it's about. The people who wanted to help this man meant well, but they didn't help him. He felt belittled by it. He felt victimized because they wanted to solve a problem for him that he didn't even have. I found that somehow very moving and very telling because it has become so strong in our entire culture lately that people are eager to help. Perhaps also, I believe, that this plays a part because there is such a deep, underlying, unconscious feeling of guilt. Maybe from our German heritage, because in our German people, let's put it this way, it has a tradition of feeling bad for what the ancestors did, even though it's not really our fault what they did. So, it might be that this is a collective thing that is deeply ingrained or perhaps stems from childhood, where one always felt, I have to be better so that mom and dad love me. And as a result, a general striving has developed, which one is not even aware of, to always somehow prove that one is good, that one is worthy of being loved. And that's my theory, that this is something very unconscious, that could play a role in wanting to help others at all costs. And then it can happen, because that is an unhealthy pattern. And especially that one always puts oneself last and prefers to help others, no matter how one feels in the process. That is not healthy. And yes, I just want to make you a little more aware today to pay attention to both sides. On one hand, it might be that I receive help from someone that I don't want. Am I allowed to set boundaries there? And say no, kindly but firmly. Say, it's very kind of you, dear mother-in-law or whoever. But I don't feel good about it. I want to do this myself. I don't want your help. If I ask you for help, then I am very, very grateful. If you offer it to me. But not without me asking, because that makes me uncomfortable. If you dare to say that, then you are taking a huge step towards healing and out of this pattern. And, of course, this also applies to the other side. Examine yourself honestly. Check if you might be that mother-in-law who, with a very well-intentioned desire to help others, goes too far without realizing it and without wanting to. Because, maybe your mother-in-law doesn't dare to tell you that. So I believe that this is quite often the case, and therefore, yes, you should just feel into it. With yourself. Could this be something that plays a role for you? And now I wish you a wonderful day. I greet you here from the beautiful Black Forest. There's a bit of noise here right now. Hey. I'm sitting here in such a beautiful landscape. I just want to show you where I've retreated to make videos. Isn't it wonderful? Here in the blooming meadows in May without hay fever. After I tapped it away. Now I wish you a wonderful day. Take care. Bye.